Hey gang, welcome to Bugbears and Brews. My name is Brian, and today we're recapping the 31st encounter of our Tomb of Annihilation campaign. And it takes me 4 tries to get my beer cap off. And we're doing so with Magic Hat Elderberry Weiss. I've never had an elderberry. I've had this beer once or twice. I've enjoyed it when I have had it. And I had one yesterday, but it was on the warm side, so couldn't quite get like a full appreciation of what it is. Um, it's definitely a little bit fruitier. But like I've never had an elderberry before outside of this, so I have no idea if this is an accurate taste or anything like that. That said, it's pretty good. I dig it. It's not like super fruity like the one I had a couple weeks back, the rosé ale from Passion Blaster. Not as fruity as that, but it's still a little bit on the fruitier side. If you've had their number 9, it's fruitier than number 9. All right. We had 4 players this week. We had 3 people out. Aaron was out due to some personal stuff. Jose had some weather issues, and Tim, non-evil Tim, Mothy, whatever we want to call him, had some birthday obligations with the family there. So 4 players, but we moved pretty quick. We got a lot of stuff done. So I'm going to try to cover as much as I can, hopefully not forget anything, but there was a lot that happened here. So start off, you guys were in this, the reflection pool chamber type deal. Took a look, couldn't quite decide what's the best thing to do. So you said, you know what, let's go ahead and check out these side tunnels. If you remember, there were side tunnels leading off the reflection chamber. And then there was one side tunnel further back along the path. So you guys took a look at, sent Barlow down the one. He's checking for traps. He found a crease along, like all along all 4 sides of the path there, and then a pressure plate probably like 8 feet up. You guys go to the north, but that then led to a dead end. You guys go to the north, take a look around, and go down that path. Same thing, crease along the sides, and then pressure plate once again 8 or so feet up. And then with that, you guys decided, let's actually trigger the pressure plate. And Navarre decided that he'd be the one to trigger it because he had a dimension door that he could rely on if need be. You guys were relatively close to what we call the soup room. So you guys were thinking, worst case scenario, he should be able to make it to the soup room, worst case. So Navarre steps in there. He hears a click. This thing immediately starts turning. And then Barlow and Sai and I was going to say Fitz, wow, Obrekta, are looking at a new tunnel. So the tunnel spun, and this new tunnel appeared, and there is a skeletal body in the center of it, wearing a yellow tabard, just like the other bodies that you have found. And then, yeah, and there's pressure plates on each side of the body. So you guys kind of trying to figure out what's the best way to get this without tripping the pressure plate, because it's a 3 foot by 3 foot tunnel. So you're kind of, everybody but Barlow's kind of squished down there. So during this time, Navarre's locked into this short tunnel section, trying to figure out what's to do. Waits like 2 minutes, sees if the party's able to get him out. That doesn't happen, so he uses Dimension Door successfully. Although when he did use the Dimension Door, he got this, his spell went off okay, but there was also kind of like this intrusiveness into it. And he's got the feeling that short distances are okay, but doing any long distance Dimension Doors or any sort of long distance teleportation, probably not a good idea. So he he held off on that, and let the party know, be careful. But I say party, mainly Barlow, know, don't do this. If you're gonna do dimension door stuff, don't mess with it. Eventually, you guys did get the skeleton out through the use of the grappling hook. He took a little bit of back and forth with it. Got the skeleton out. There was a +1 club with it, and then I think one gem or another one of the eye gemstone type guys. I got those, and then luckily, so we rolled randomly for what the +1 item was gonna, or +1 weapon was gonna be. Became the Great Club, and then we rolled randomly for what the armor was, because we have a character that's still really in need of armor, and it wound up being splint armor. So really good for Obrecta. Obrecta put the splint armor on, gave back Navarre his +1 studded leather captain's jacket, and you guys went about your day. Looking back at the reflection pool area, taking into considerations the clues that Asarak left you guys, you decided let's walk through the wall of water with our weapons in hand. Mainly looking at like the weapons that you guys found throughout the dungeon. So the Mace of Terror, the Staff of Striking, this +1 weapon that you just found. I think Barlow had the bunny corn horn, and as he was getting ready to walk through the wall of water, Barlow cast the bunny corn horn on himself, and actually wound up getting enlarged person on himself. So Barlow was actually the size of a normal person rather than his 3-foot Barlow self. So he had a lot of fun with that. He did a lot of really big sounding dumb voice that was fun and entertaining. It was kind of weird to hear him try to talk intellectual with his big, dumb sounding voice. Anyway, as you guys walk through the water, big wall of water pushes you guys back, does a little bit of damage to you guys. Not that bad, but tells you guys something's not right here. Taking in a little bit further detail of the murals that were around here, you decided it's best to walk through the water with the tridents that the frog-like god-type people had. And you did that. You held the trident out, part of the water. Beautiful, worked great. Just beyond the wall of water was another room, essentially a mirror of what you just had. And to you guys, this doesn't quite make sense. Why would you have this room here? And one of the mural guys, I think it was the eagle, didn't have weapons unlike all the other ones, and it looked like it was stowing something. So Obrecta is taking a good look at it, trying to figure it out, and touches it, and the wall disappears and displays another one of those glass crystal eyes. What crystal eyes I think is what they're. You grab that, and you decide let's go back to the other side and check that one, and lo and behold, there was another crystal eye there as well. So you guys snagged another 2 crystal eyes. Great. Moving forward, checked out one path that led you to led you back to the staircase along with a small side path. So instead of pressing forward on the small side path, you decided let's go back, check out the side path that led off of the reflection pool, the southern reflection pool, and that led you to like a safe hiding hole room, and then that had a path further along on it, which led you to this giant balcony, and you actually came out behind this like 15-foot tall statue of a demon with these big old wings flailed out, its hands cupped like this, and beyond that, so this was on a balcony. Beyond that, there was this all these floating platforms that are just hanging out in the air. And then you guys can't see the bottom of the floor. You guys toss some coins down there. I'm guessing it's between like 100 and 150 feet or so down. So you probably don't want to fall. And Obrecta's like, screw it. I'm going for it. He ties off a rope, hands it to our now big Barlow, even though it doesn't increase his strength, it just makes him larger. He goes running, dashes off, makes it to the first platform, makes it to the second platform, runs out of rope, and he's like, shit, what am I going to do? So at this point, Sai came up with the lovely idea of using his shadow step and kind of going from platform to platform to platform, as this is all really low light. And Navarre sends his owl. And so Navarre's owl and Sai make it to the platform, or make it to all the way across this pretty easily. And when they do, looking at the top there, so it's a kind of a similar balcony setup, but without the statue. And at the top of it is, or on the balcony, there's a set of stairs, and at the top of the stairs is a lever. So Sai goes running up there, pulls the lever, and then there's just this giant gust of wind kind of pushes people around a little bit. And on top of pushing people around, uh, it had this horrible wailing, you know, bestial sound to it, and it drove a couple people temporarily mad. The owl had to be temporarily dismissed, and Sai was essentially frozen in fear for a few minutes here. But as that's going on, the demon uncupped its hands, and each in one of its hands there was another one of those gemstones. So you got two more just from here. So obviously there's something going on with these gemstones, these crystallized gemstones. Eventually, Sai comes to. You guys get back out, or he flips a switch. The wind stops. Everybody gets back to the demon's entrance guy, and heads back around the way they came, and then you head back through this next side tunnel here, and it's got this metal grating over top with this kind of bestial face on it. You look through the Minotaur face. Yeah, it's Minotaur face if I recall, because you could look through the eyes and you can see the path continues. So Obrecta lifts it up, and then Barlow, forgive me for that, Barlow jabs a wand of wonder up there so everybody can get through without issue. Navarre once again does a wonderful mage hand wand of wonder retract grab, whatever you want to call it. And you guys, at the end of this hallway, there's a 15-foot drop into this room. And this room has all sorts of kind of bas-relief faces all over it, and there's a door. So you guys head into the room, and once you guys are all in there, the area you just jumped from closes off, and then the room starts spinning like a rock tumbler. So spinning like this, and it's lifting you guys up, and it's just slow enough that you guys, it doesn't have enough centrifugal force to keep you up on the walls. So you get to the top and you fall down, and it's hurting people. It's doing a lot of did a lot of damage the first round. Then immediately some spikes come out from the floor, and so shit's getting worse. And immediately Navarre casts Fly, and also cast it at a higher level, so Sai would have it as well. Barlow cast Knock, and wound up getting up to the top floor, back to the way you guys came. So he cast Knock in the area where you guys just came from, and Obrecta tried to rush to the door to open it, and he's smacking it with the Great Club. It's a little effective, but not the greatest. At that point, Sai goes ahead and starts trying to help him out. And as you guys are doing this, there is a puff of, what's it called? A puff like glitter dust, and it blinds Navarre and Sai, and so they're both floating around blind. What was the next thing that came out of that? Anyway, so with Sai's help, Obrecta was able to rip the door off the hinges. They hurried up and rushed off through. Barlow eventually opens up the door via another knock. And Obrecta, through the good use of grappling hook, was able to get Barlow back down rather quickly, and get Navarre out rather quickly as well, because Navarre actually wound up, I think the next room spray was it knocked somebody out, or knocked you out if you failed the check. So Navarre failed it. Sai, who was sitting in his like monk-esque lotus position, fell, smashed his head. Didn't, nothing, no damage, but thematically it's kind of funny. And you guys got into the next room, and you're like, shit, we just needed to take a minute, regroup, and you guys got a short rest. Before I did describe the room, but I'll go out and talk about the room here in just a second. Here. So the next room you're in, there is it's like probably like a 40 by 25 room or something like that. And there's a 15 by 15 by 15 cube indented into the floor. And down in the bottom of it, there's a treasure chest, and there is a clay golem with a silver key around its neck. And so you guys go ahead and along with that, there are two pedestals, one with Torm on it, and one with Azuth, Azuth, I believe. And then there's a third pedestal that's empty. And the pedestals that the gods are on these like gear work, mechanical type deals. And when you can kind of spin them, and before you spun them though, you're just kind of like taking in the room. Eventually you decide, let's put something on the third pedestal and spin one of them. I forget which one you spun, but when you spun it, it took a dagger and put it down in the room below. So first off, you spun it without anything on that pedestal, and you heard like a whoosh, like a kind of teleporty type sound. And so that's where you guys decided, let's put the dagger down there. Did that. You guys spun the other one, and it brought the golem up. And the golem was immediately getting ready to start kicking ass. And you guys spun it back down, and it just stopped, shut it down. So you guys devised a plan of sending, if I recall here, you brought the... No, okay, this is what happened. You sent Navarre down and then would quickly bring him up. And realistically, it was random who got brought up. So Navarre would go down, remove the the necklace, the silver key necklace, come back up, wait for the golem to settle back down, go back down, get the treasure chest, go back up. He was ready to take hits if need be. Great use of shield. He used shield once or twice to negate some hits, which was great. And was able to get the pieces out of the chest without issue. So you guys lucked out because I don't recall if the golem ever got brought back up, or if so, Oberta was there to keep it in place, like hold on to it. I remember that was the plan, but I don't remember if we actually had to enact that plan. Like randomly it worked out from what I recall, Navarre just being the one that always got brought back up. And so inside the chest there were 2 more gems, giving you a total of 10, which is really good because when you guys went down the next hallway, there was this giant door with 10 gemstones, or 10 entries for gemstones, openings, whatever the hell you want to call it, sockets. That's what I'm looking for, sockets for gemstones, and around this circular type pattern here. So you put those in, this door is opening, that's where we stopped. We got through a lot of shit. Wow, I was really surprised with how much we got through, because of normally we get through like 2 rooms. Let's see here. If I look at the map here, we got through 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 rooms. If you count the hallway twisty puzzle type deal, a lot of stuff done there. So it was really good to get a lot of good progression. Looking forward to next week. It'll be a fun challenge to see what's behind the doors. I think everybody kind of gets the idea it's going to be some sort of challenge behind there. We'll see. Yeah, it's a challenge. Hey, let's. We already kind of know. So I'm gonna go drink the rest of this beer, and since it's Saturday night, I'm gonna have like another 1 or 2 after that. See ya. Take care, guys.